unsure of what motor you want to build, what kind of swap you want to do, you can't really go wrong on a G23. Cool. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Sakitnet2. Thanks for tuning in. That was a couple of kids playing around, just having some fun. Another episode of the G23 BK, the boosted version. And today's episode, I am going to talk a little bit of some of the comments. I usually get questions and a comment because some people are confused. They could not decide what kind of swap or engine build that they want to do, whether it's H22, H23 or a G23. And that brings up to this episode of why do we build a G23, and also what's so special about this motor. What I'm going to cover on this episode is all about my opinion and my experience building the G23. If you are the type of person that like to venture out into uncertainty and into the unknown, you wanted to see what the light look like at the end of the tunnel, this is the motor for you. First, if you are the type of person that happens to have a lot of parts laying around in your garage or on your possession, you want to experience more torque other than what the H22 provide, this is the motor for you. This is the closest I can get to a K series. This is a 97mm crank throw. K series have a 100, the K24. So pretty much like this is the closest I can be driving around using a K series. If you happen to have a motor that is blown up due to a bearing failure and you don't want to deal with the lower block because it has a FRM liner, once it's out of specs, let's say that you are consuming oil and it's out of round or something like that, it's taper out of specs, there's no way around it. You cannot just, hone it and everything compared to a block that has iron sleeve. So you're stuck with it. Plus, it's so hard to find a piston material that will go along with a FRM liner on a H series. It kind of limits you on what you can do as far as the piston selection on that block. So if something wrong with it, we always find and look for something else, some alternate material that we could use, which is the easiest is the F23 or F20B. The H23A will give you more torque than the H22, but still you are so limited still. And that goes back to you happen to have a lot of parts laying around, like a cylinder head to begin with, then all you need is the block, the F23. Among other parts, like the cam gears, water pump, and also the crank pulley, cooling pipes, and you pretty much like you are ready to build a G series. It is hard to find some of the parts nowadays because this is getting leaner and leaner. If you ever find someone that is selling the whole deal, might as well get the whole deal. Whether it's got a broken internals on the block and everything, as long as the cylinder head is perfect, then you can get some of the parts that you needed. Then just get yourself the F23 block. And what's good about it is now you have an option of putting one of these baby. That's a good thing about running an F23 block, because it has iron sleeve. But make sure you don't go power hungry. That F23 block cannot really take some abuse. Something's gotta give. Okay. Next is, you knew it already. This is what you wanted to build. It's by choice. Everything in life is by choice. And once your heart and mind is already fixed on something, there is no way to stop you, right? Some of you guys I don't know personally, and when they ask me or leave a message of what's my opinion, should I build a G23 or H22, I usually recommend an H22. It's because it's the easiest, less headache, and reliability of it. I mean, you can't go wrong on H22. So once your mind are fixed on that's what I want to do, I want to build a G23, I say go for it. And that's what makes it so unique. Now we ask ourselves the questions: why do you really build a G23, and what makes it so special? You get to play around with Honda's one of the oldest big block. Just for everyone to know, the first G23, it's a F23 block and a non-VTEC version from H23A1, and then the VTEC follows. This is the reincarnation of it, the evolution, shall I call it. How cool is that? Building a motor from Honda's multiple lineups, you know, on their cars. You get to play around as an engineer. Honda didn't create this motor. We all did. Or if you are in the process of building one of these, you are an engineer. I always put it this way: when you're building one of these, you didn't buy the motor, you built it from the ground up. Not bad for scrounging parts from a different Honda cars lined up, man. The F23 block is from a Honda Accord. The cylinder head from a Honda Prelude. Acura RSX for my intake manifold. And the piston selection, yeah, you got 3 choices from K20 lineup, depending on how high your compression you want it to be. I mean, how cool is that, right? You are actually building the motor. And if you ever succeed building one of these, man, imagine what the prestige it will give you, how proud you will be. And that tells you what kind of engine builder you are. So if you stick with the guidelines, pay attention on some specs like the connecting rods and everything, don't worry about those horror things that you hear about the G23. Those things are a thing of the past. Everything else is been ironed out. Someone already paved the way, and all it needed really is you execute it correctly. That's the key. I always think that, like I said before, the success of my G23 is from keeping the balance shafts. And if you ever delete your balance shaft system, if you can save up like I did here, it took me 2 years to get those ATI damper. It's well worth it, man. make sure to get those ATI damper if you ever delete your balance shaft system. I know some guys, you've been very lucky on your motor that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money of getting those ATI damper, that you don't need it. You never had any problem on your motor. Every motor is built differently. They are not the same. I hope this episode will shine a light on your darkest spot because you're not sure what kind of build, what kind of swap you want to do. And I wish everyone, if you ever tackle one of these, that you would be successful, because the benefits of it, yeah, you will be surprised what kind of motor this is. Just make sure to get it tuned, okay? I'm not kidding. That's the only way you can really enjoy this. And this is where I close out this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys back. That brings us to how reliable the G23 is. That's coming up in the future. Bye everyone. Later. When you're building one of these, I always put it this way. You didn't buy it, you built it. Remember now, Honda engineers didn't make a G23. We all did.